Hello everyone and welcome back to the Football Insider Gaming channel. I am Connor Bromley and today we are looking at the most popular, the most downloaded tactic on FM Scout. I'm going to leave the link in the description if you want to download this tactic, but we're going to test it at 5 different teams up and down the English pyramid and see how it does with, say, a top-end Premier League team compared to a team at the bottom end of the National League. So all of that is coming up, but as I said, you can check out this tactic in the description below if you want to download it. Anyway, let's dive into the gameplay. So the first team we are going to try this with is Manchester City, of course one of the best teams in England. And they've got Erling Haaland there, who's always going to be a goal threat. So we're going to try it with Manchester City in the Premier League, see how they do, see if we can win the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, and maybe even the Carabao Cup. But yeah, Man City with a really good team. Let's have a look at the team instructions. And you're working to a standard passing direction, a higher, very high tempo, narrow attacking width. You want to be counter-attacking, balanced in terms of creative freedom, time waste less often, and you want to play for set pieces. Out of possession, it's a high level of engagement, so really pressing up the field, high defensive line, stepping up more, triggering press as much as you possibly can, counter pressing, so getting back into that shape, and regular tackling. And if we look at the shape here, so in possession, when we are in shape, it's a 4-2-3-1. We see we've got ball playing centre backs. We have 2 defensive midfielders, are both playing basically the same role, defensive mid. And we've got inside forwards in attack on the wing with an attack midfielder and a complete, it's a channel forward for Erling Haaland. Out of possession, it turns sort of into a 4-2-2-1-1, but essentially a 4-4-2 in a lot of ways, or a 4-4-1-1. 2 defensive midfielders doing the same job. We've got our inside forwards then playing as wide midfielders, attack midfielder still, and Erling Haaland in the same position. The centre-backs stick as just centre-backs, and your full-backs are pressing with a sweeper goalkeeper. So this is a really aggressive formation, and one that I have no doubt this Manchester City team will be able to play perfectly. So the second team we're going to be is QPR in the Championship. They are expected to finish in mid-table. We'll just quick pick the team here when we get a second. So there we are. We have our tactics screen here. So exactly the same tactic as before. And if we quick pick it, we can see what this QPR team looks like. And yes, it's the same tactic. So QPR expected to finish in mid-table. So, could a playoff push or potentially even automatic promotions happen? Hopefully we will see. Next up is Exeter, and Exeter City are expected to get relegated from League One on the game. So this is going to be a real test for this tactic in particular. And we'll just have a look at the Exeter City squad and pick the best 11 as we sit right now in early July of pre-season. But yeah, this Exeter City team, not the best. They are expected to be there or thereabouts when it comes to relegation at the end of the season. So this is going to be a test of this tactic. I've picked Salford as well. Salford expected to be in the promotion mix in League 2. And if we look at the tactic screen here, and I apologise, my game is running very slow, I think because we're recording footage at the same time as running 5 teams on the game. And there we are. There's Salford's best team. Matty Young plays for my team, Sunderland, in nets. Young goalkeeper. So Salford expect to be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. And the last team is Gateshead. And I've picked Gateshead just because I can pretty much see their stadium from my house. So yeah, Gateshead expected to be sort of a lower end team in the National League. In real life, not doing the best either. They've had some good years in the past, couldn't get promoted because of their stadium, so a little bit unlucky there in the past. But there we are. So anyway, we're going to simulate these saves for the full season, see how the tactic does, see what success we get from this. So we'll see you on the other side. So after simulating one full season using this tactic with Manchester City, we can see that we finished second in the Premier League behind Arsenal, who were the runaway winners, and also Manchester United got relegated. Wow. What an interesting save this would have been. Look at, yeah, Manchester United relegated after the first season, so that's pretty fun. Anyway, though, on Man City, let's have a look at the results for the season, how we did. And looking at the Premier League start, okay, 4-1 defeat against Arsenal, out the Carabao Cup against Leeds United. Some decent results here, really strong start to the season. Overall, a 5-0 win at home against Liverpool. Pretty impressive result there. And how else did we do? We lost against Chelsea. A bit of a ropey. A 5-2 defeat against Hull City in the FA Cup, which is an interesting result to say the least. A 4-1 defeat away at West Ham. It looks like it was basically the end of the season that sort of unravelled the campaign. Out of the Champions League against PSG. I think this will be in the semi-finals. So overall, I would probably say, as you'd probably expect from Man City, we'll have a look as well at the squad and see how everyone did in terms of statistics. But yeah, I think overall, you'd have to say probably underwhelming for Manchester City here. I think that, you know, putting this tactic in, I was kind of hoping they would win the league. But let's have a look at not the general info. Let's have a look at the selection info and see how many goals everyone scored. So we had Erling Haaland score 36 goals, so he did really, really well. Phil Foden did well as well. Doku, Silva, Vardyol. So yeah, it was a pretty good season. Did we miss any players for the season? Did people not play as much as expected? And we go through here. Donnarumma played 49 games, so he was the main starting goalkeeper. So yeah, overall at Man City, you'd probably say that it's a middle sort of thumb. Not amazing, but not going to get you the sack. And I think they were expected to finish second, so it's kind of so-so. So let's now have a look at QPR and see how we did at Loftus Road. So we'll go into the portal here, see where we finished in the table, and it looks like we've won promotion via the playoffs against Oxford United. A very interesting championship playoff final. The league table is not loading up the result, the overall table there, but we'll have a look at the fixtures anyway. So in terms of the start of the season, there's a pretty a decent start of the season here. A few defeats sort of in September, October, a really bad November actually, and as we sort of head towards the end of the season, we pick up quite well, and it looks like we beat Preston 4-0 in the playoff semi-final first leg, and then lost 3-2 in the away leg. So overall, you can't grumble at this QPR team getting to the playoff final. And let's quickly take a look at the league table here and see exactly where we finished. It's doing that thing where you have to go through the stages. So league stage. So QPR finished in 6th, so just scraped into the playoffs. A 0 goal difference. Very, very interesting. Finishing ahead of Hull, who had a plus 23 goal difference. Norwich and Ipswich go up. I'm sure they both would take that in real life. And yeah, 6th place overall. So I would argue that this was pretty successful for a QPR team that was expected to finish in mid-table, to finish in 6th and win promotion to the Premier League via the playoffs. You'd have to say this is a job well done. Let's have a look at the squad and just see how everyone did in terms of goals and whatnot. See if there was any stand out performers. It looks like Elias Chair, the winger, good player, was top scorer with 18. Richard Coney scored 14. Dembele, once a wonder kid at Celtic, he scored 14 as well. And yeah, assists. Sieto, who pulled in 12 assists as well. So overall, you'd have to say that this tactic worked pretty well. Let's have a look at the lower league teams now. Next up is Exeter City. They were expected to pretty much finish bottom of League One, and it looks like we've had a pretty strong season here. 8th, just 3 points from 6th place Plymouth, but also miles away, 27-ish points from the relegation zone. So you'd say overall this has been pretty successful with Exeter City finishing in 8th place. And if we look at what the media prediction was, Exeter were expected to finish 23rd, so massively overachieved there. So you'd have to say the tactic worked wonderfully here. Let's have a look in the results and see if there's any standout big wins or anything in here. A 4-1 win against Oxford, who are obviously ahead in the championship. A 4-0 away win at Rotherham's pretty interesting. And we'll scroll through. 5-1 defeat against Bournemouth in the FA Cup. Well, I think that's to be expected. But overall, you look at this and you'd say that, you know, it's pretty much a job well done here at Exeter City. You know, building block for the second season. So the tactic definitely worked well here. Let's have a look at Salford next in League 2. And it looks like we have won the league. So let's have a look here at League 2 and see how we did. And we got Crewe winning the playoff final. But League 2, 100-point season, just the 4 defeats. And you'd have to say that the tactic has also worked fantastically here as well. You know, 93 goals scored, only 36 conceded, the lowest in the league. So most goals, least conceded. And if we look at the media prediction, Salford were expected to finish in 2nd place. So, you know, a marked improvement in terms of winning the league and also finishing with 100 points. So an excellent campaign there. And if we look at Gateshead here, who finished 4th in the National League table, didn't get promoted, lost out in the playoffs. 84 points though, but if you look at the expected goals table, Gateshead finished top of that. So the best team in the league, in effect, but probably just undone by the lack of quality. So there we go. I would say overall this tactic did pretty well at Man City. We probably... I was expecting to win the league with Man City using this tactic, but I think that, you know, there are reasons for that. Arsenal had a fantastic season, but other than that, all the other saves. We got QPR promoted. We had Exeter in 8th place when they were expected to finish right at the bottom. In League 2, we had Salford win the league, and then at Gateshead, we have a team that is finished in 4th, but actually, underlying data-wise, was the best in the league. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you want to use this tactic, I'll put the link for that in the description below. Please also like the video and subscribe to the channel as well if you enjoy this content, and we'll catch you for another tactical video very soon.